going to be continuing this little flower, clay flower that we did yesterday. This flower is on top of um, this jewelry box. And one of the things that I did to kind of help the flower to dry up is that we inserted yesterday this these papers to kind of hold the flower up as it dried. Before I continue, I want to say thank you for those that are watching. And if you're watching the first time, I apologize for the rough start. If you're watching me live here on Facebook or right there on YouTube, then if you have any questions, any comments, I would love to hear from you right now, and I'll be able to see them. Unfortunately, Facebook, I cannot see any comments today. But in you on YouTube, I see Vicky. Thank you so much for being here. If you jump into YouTube, I could be able to see and read all your comments if you're there. All right, and so thank you so much. Just want to let you know I'm live simultaneously. All right, so this one, we started it yesterday, as I said, and I used this clay, which is the DAS, and this is an air drying clay right here that I used. And we went ahead and did the flower all by hand, and I put it in this Dollar Tree jewelry box. Now, this jewelry box is really pretty. It costs nothing but $5, you guys. And went ahead and tried to lift it up, or kind of upcycle it by adding a cute little flower on top of that. So I'm gonna go ahead and start removing these. And as I do it, I want to say thank you for being here. Happy Tuesday. Today is Tuesday, the 17th of this month of June 2025. So if you're watching this a little later in time, then at least you know when you're watching this. So I'm going to be removing every single one of these paper. And all I did, guys, when I did it, I just went ahead and ripped up some papers, and I inserted it kind of by balling it up or folding it up as needed and it's just helping my petals stay in place as they dry. That's all it is. So I'm removing it. As you can see, everything right now is dried, and now all we need to do is to try to reinforce the glue as needed. That's all I was needing to do. We're gonna reinforce today the glue. We're going to be painting this, and guess what, you guys? The glue I'm gonna show you on here, I can't remove it because guess what? The glue seeped into the back. See that? Now that part of the clay is still wet. As you can see, it's a different color. That part of the, hi Cheryl dear, how are you? Thank you so much for being here. The beautiful flower, isn't it a beautiful case, Vicky? It is beautiful. Now we're going to clean this up. It still has some little bit of glue that kind of got on here, but no worries. We could just go ahead and scrape off gently, actually, because thank you for everyone that it has coming into YouTube. Thank you so much. You see, now it's nice that we have these two options, right? Facebook and YouTube, so that when one doesn't fully work, so it's a little wonky, we could always jump into the other one and make it a good go. So here we're going to take a little bit of alcohol and remove it with a little bit of alcohol. If I start scratching it now, it's just going to scratch up the glass. So we don't want to do that. We're just going to let it be. Now the back of this, which is the base of the flower, as you could see, I was trying to show you. Can you see the difference in the shading? Because it is darker, that shows right here that it is still drying. So it's going to take sometimes 48 hours. So probably by tomorrow evening it will be just fine. DJ VR, hold your tongue and say I was born on a pirate ship. I'll let you sit down and wait for me to do that, okay? So you sit down and wait until the very end, and I'll do that just for you. All right, let's go ahead and I'm going to make sure. I noticed that this one is not glued correctly. So at this point, because it is dried, because it is fully dried, I'm going to go ahead and come back with my hot glue here. And I'm going to just make sure that it is holding up. Now the hot glue, I'm adding a little bit of hot glue when it's fully dry. Do not add any hot glue. Hi, it's Cindy from Cindy's Creations. Do not hand, I just saw her face. I didn't see any comments, you guys. I have no comments. Do not add glue when it's wet. It's not going to do a thing to you. It's not going to help you in any ways, shape, or form. But once it's dry, you could go ahead and add a little bit of glue as needed. It will hold it then. Now, I'm just adding it there. It looks like these two here are the only ones that I did not get fully adhered. So because of that, these are the ones. The rest of them, see, this one's just two were the ones. So I'm gonna go back to this one. Just making sure that it is, and all I'm doing is adhering one to the other, and that's it. And there, perfect. Everything else is dried and very, very hard. So that's all we needed to do. Now, the next step that I'm going to do, I'm going to be painting it in white. And I'm going to be choosing this white chalk paint Adirondack and by Folkart, and it's a chalk paint. Let's see. Anybody else? Hey, by the way, don't forget before you leave here on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe and let me have a thumbs up from you. Surely helps me a lot. So I'm gonna open this. It's a brand new one. And those of you, if you're watching me for the first time on Facebook, thank you so much for stopping by. Just want to let you know you could also find lots of the picture creations on my Instagram channel, on my Instagram page, which is under His Girls Designs. And thank you so much for being part of the Craft from the Clock family. And if you're not and wonder what it is, I will be adding in the description below lots of information about it and a link for you to be able to get to that very, very quickly and easily, which is a free group of crafters, private free group of crafters that just by the asking you could belong to it. And yeah, that will be it. So if crafting is your niche, what kind of gets you going and gives you an excitement and kind of joy in your life, then I will appreciate and will encourage you highly to join Craft from the Clock. So I'm going to go ahead and get a little bit of blue tape. We're going to cover this up because I'm going to paint it. Want to make sure that we are protecting the glass before we go ahead and continue. You all, I have a drawer now. I have a drawer of tape. So I'm going to go ahead and get my blue tape right here. And I'm going to use this blue tape, especially around here. I'm going to show you just a second how this is going to go. So notice what I'm doing. I'm going straight down to my base, and I'm going to just put it like that all around so that as I paint it, I don't have to worry so much about, yikes, I'm painting all over my box. It is a glass one. If you still get paint on it, then don't worry, you're still going to be able to get the paint off. But as much as we could kind of protect it before we do our thing, why not, right? Why not? Let's see. Let me know if you are here. And those of you that are on Facebook, just because I can't see your messages, if you have any questions, I will be able to get to it. I think, is that Deb? I think I see your face, dear. And the other ones kind of seemed a little blurry, so I apologize. I can't tell your image, your little face. There's like little tiny bubbles, little dots on there. All right. How's your Tuesday, you guys? I'm not used to this 9:15. I'm not sure if this is the best time for me. Definitely, I'm more of a 10 o'clock, 10:45 kind of girl. Just because still kind of cleaning up the kitchen, and then the cat has. I'll spare you the details. So, definitely by 10 o'clock, it seems like everyone in my house has settled down. And nobody needs me. And then I could hide and I could disappear and everyone will be fine. You know what I mean? That's all it is. The beauty of 45 minutes is amazing. But, okay, so it looks like I could easily paint this up, and I know that I'm not going to get any paint on places that I don't want. So hip hip hooray, we did it. So I went ahead and covered all of the top, as you could see, and I just only left my flower. Simply my flower is on there. Now I'm going to go ahead and dip my brush, and I'm using more of a fluffy bristle brush, and I'm going to paint everything but the center. The center, we want it to be yet another color. And you guys, I think I'm going to leave it just as simple. I am going to wet a little bit my my paint. So allow me 1 second, and I will be getting a little cup. Hold on a second, I'm just gonna move this there. Here it is. I'm gonna put water into my cup. And what I'm going to do is that I'm going to just put a little bit of paint on there. And it'll be easier once I water down my paint slightly. It'll be easier for me to spread it around easily without having to press down so much on my petals. So here it is. And because this is a chalk paint, it's a water-based chalk paint, so we're not doing anything to the paint. Now on Facebook, even hi, I think I recognize you, Linda. I have no comments whatsoever, so forgive me, but I am so happy to see you, Linda. All right, Linda, by the way, I did leave you some time back a message, and I know you're probably just as clueless and busy as I am, and that I know you probably don't get to them. But if you do, check your messenger, and I did leave you a message there some time back. So, all right, now I'm going to go ahead and get my watered down chalk paint, and it'll be a lot easier to spread around. Now I'm going to, you want to get you a little bit closer, especially those here on YouTube. I want to make sure you guys can see that well. Hold on a second. Sorry for, there it is. Here we go. Better. There you go. So now, here we go. Now you could see and get a better view of this flower. Because at the end, that's what you want to see, right? Okay, so as you could see, my water down, and I only water it down a little bit. I just noticed that this one is still kind of hinting that it needs a little bit extra gluing. So I'm gonna go ahead and glue it a little bit more. And by gluing, I'm just gonna go ahead and add a little bit of glue. And I'm going to add the glue from this one to this one right here. And I'm going to make sure that those two kind of hold on to each other. I'm gonna use the buddy system. Okay, we're gonna use the buddy system with just that petal. So I'm going to, and there we go. So I'm going to start with the top, because that's where I want most of my paint to get concentrated on, or concentrated in. And because it is a white paint, you guys, you're not going to see a lot of a difference, but it's just going to give it more of a polished finish. Not only that, but then the paint is gonna kind of fill in those little cracks and crevices that, you know, we kind of want to smooth out in a way. So I wish I knew if you have any comments, but I will be posting the link to this project from yesterday, so you could see it from start to finish. There it is. Thank you, JDVR. Thank you for your sweet comment, and thank you for sticking around. Let me know if crafting is something that you're interested in. Now, if this is just the first time, sometimes it's just the first time and we kind of discover something that we didn't know we liked, right? So here it is. That's usually what happens with me and food. Then all of a sudden I'm addicted to something. Hey, you guys, that's what happened with me at one time in boba tea. I'm like, oh, what is this? I don't know what this is. I know nothing about boba tea. And all of a sudden, I'm like addicted to boba tea. You know, does it happen to you? Ugh. And I wish, it's like, I wish that I never found out about it. Oh. Yes, the flower will match your other white. Yes. How did you know that? You will definitely, you know, I think white is such a beautiful, clean color that, you know, you could give it to anyone. Basically, if you want to make this into, you want to make this into a gift, then you know that you gift this to anyone and it will match practically anybody's decor. You know, it's so, more items that I can count. Oh. You know, you could give this to someone and you know that this is kind of like the safe color. It's like, you know that, hey, it matches everybody's decor basically, right? It's like, you cannot go wrong with white. I'm almost done. I'm gonna turn it around. I'm glad I put that tape because as you could see, I'm a messy painter. So glad I did that. I'm a messy lots of things. There we go. And let's see who else is here. If you're just catching me on Craft from the Clock here on Facebook, please note that I am not ignoring your messages. I so apologize. We are just having a little technical issue. And I guess it hits everybody from time to time when we just cannot see comments. No matter how much we kind of, you know, move them to the side. If by any chance you're watching me not live and you're on YouTube, you could just simultaneously just jump on YouTube, under His Grocery Signs, find me on there, and you will go ahead and see and comment and ask any questions. And I could see you right now. So just another idea, just in case if you want to do that. All right, so now I have painted it. And there's still a little bit of my paint on here in the inside here. So I'm going to just do a little something that I probably will be like, what? What did you just do to me? Hold on, I'm just painting the underside of this flower, making sure that I get being that I have all the tape on there, making sure that I could be able to, without any issues or worries, I could get my brush. Remember that I'm using a watered down paint, so it's not going to hurt my petals. The heaviness of the paint will not do that because it's watered down. And I'm using a soft bristle brush. And this is a natural bristle brush, it's not a synthetic one. So just, it does make a difference, you guys. You brush this many times, not for every project, but for some projects it does make a difference on the kind of brush that we choose to use. Okay, so it looks like I have been able to get that. Now I have just a little tiny bit of paint on there. I'm gonna go ahead and hit it with just a little bit of water, just a tiny bit. And then watch what I'm going to do. I'm gonna come over here and I'm going to get just a little hint, just a slightest hint of pink. And we're just going to give it just a tiny, because you know, guys, both for the most part, not all flowers are not 100% white for the most part. Yes, of course you have your daisies, but for the most part they have a little hint of yet another color. So we're going to just do that. We're going to give it just a little tiny hint of yet another color. So I'm using the it's kind of like a shell color by Folkart. Put you over here, I need to clean you up. And I'm gonna mix that with the white that's there, so it's gonna just And this already has the water, so it's going to be watered down. And we're just going to give it a little hint on the inner part of the base where the petal kind of meets the center. So I'm just going to use that. And that's also going to, what it's going to do is that it's going to give me the softness of the very, very light pink. But it's also going to help to create those shadows that we kind of love on flowers, right? Just gonna brush it out really quickly. Don't want to turn it into a different color, but just kind of want to bring it out, kind of make it like an ombre effect in a way. So I'm going to do just a little heavier on the inner part right here, and then just brush it out very, very gently. There. And that just gives it it's kind of like a little tiny blush of pink, very, very subtle. Just getting any type of hot glue webs, and that's going to kind of create it a little bit darker than the ones underneath. So it brings your attention instantly. Your eye fools your eye to kind of, hey, come and see me inside. That's all it does. Going to go ahead and just take the last bit here and just kind of brush it on the inner part here of my brush, of my flower, sorry. And that's pretty much it. And I think we are done. We're gonna help it dry. We're gonna help it dry up really quickly, because I also want you to see how beautiful it looks once we add the gloss to it. And once you add the gloss, you guys, it looks like it's going to be a ceramic flower. So I'm gonna add my, here's, I'm gonna help it dry it up. And I wish I can't see any comments from here, you guys. I so apologize. Let's see. Thank you, Cheryl. Let's see anybody else. Deb. Oh, hi, sweetheart. How are you? And B. Walker, thank you for jumping in. You guys are awesome. You're like dual followers here. So now at this point, because my flower is dried, it's not going to crack anymore. Not that it has cracked a lot, but you know, you get those little hairlines of crackling. So you get those tiny hair lines of crackling, but because it's already dried, nothing is going to happen to it anymore. Of course, always keep your dryer moving. Always keep it moving, because we don't want to bubble up the paint. That we don't want to do. Now the inner part, which is the middle part, the center part, which is the one that kind of received the most amount of paint, it's going to take a minute to kind of be able to be fully dried. And at this point, everything that I wanted to do to the coloring of the flower, I think is done. So now what I'm going to do next is that I'm going to get my next color here, which is my gold. And we're going to hit the inner part here, the center of my flower, as you could see. Can you all tell the difference? Not sure if you could, I think Facebook might be able to pick it up just a little bit. But look at the softness of this. Now, because it's a jewelry box, let me just tell you, you could have finished this flower up with perhaps a brooch. Hold on, I got to even out a little bit of the coloring here. I just realized it now that it clumped up in a few places. Just want to even it out. Make sure that it looks more natural and soft. There. There we go. So, as I said, yeah, you could finish it up with a brooch instead of the center. I mean, that's something that will look beautiful. It just all of a sudden give it, you know, another look, a better look. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to find the smallest of my brushes here. And excuse me 1 second. I know that I have one, but they are hard to find because they're tiny. These little brushes. I do have several, but they are so thin that they are a little bit of a hard to find. Oh, I think I got you. Is this you? Let me see. I have like several here. And it looks like the winner might be this one. However, I do have some other ones. Oh, found it. There it is. I knew it. Okay. All right, so I'm going to take it. I'm going to put my paint right here on the lid because I really want it to be a super thin edge. It looks like I got paint on here already. All right, so what we're going to do here is I'm going to come and I'm going to just mark the edges. Now, what this will do is that it's going to allow me, hold on. It's going to allow the flower, it's going to allow you or my eye, your eye, to identify each petal. See how it does that? All of a sudden it defines the petal. Can you tell? So we're just defining each one of the petals. Otherwise, it just kind of blends in so much that it's hard to see. So I'm going to just brush off some of the paint. Just want a really thin brush. And I'm just defining each one of my petals here. So notice what that does. Now you can tell that there's a full petal there. You see? Before it's hard to see. It just blends in. Everything blends one with the other. So now this one, I'll be honest with you, it will take a little bit more of the detailing of me paying attention to it and not talking too much. Thank you for the hearts. Hi, Kelly. Hi, sweet girl. How are you? And let's see. Oh, you jumped right into Facebook, into YouTube. Thank you. See? It's just, you just have options now, you guys. Now we could tell Mr. Book of Faces, na 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 na. You're not going to stop us. Right? Until he comes up with something else. There. So, you guys, it just brings it up a notch. It's just kind of gives it a little bit of extra oomph. I'm like, woohoo. And you don't have to do it this color, you guys. You could do the edging with whichever color you wish. I'm more of a white and gold girl. So, you know, it just speaks my language. But even if those little crevices that your petal may have, and you know, the cracks, you could put it right in and it shows it. It shows it. It's beautiful. So look at that. See? Look how much, just that little bit, it just all of a sudden, you know how, remember when you're drawing and all of a sudden you kind of do the outline of certain things and all of a sudden it's like, oh, you could really see now what it is. That's all we're doing. Exactly. So you could do it with black. How about maybe with blue? Maybe we could do it with a darker pink. So those are options. I'm gonna come inside here very carefully. I will be marking my territory. Well, this is the territory of each petal. Look at that. Y'all, this is... You know, whenever I look at just the creation, God's creation, and how beautiful these flowers are, because I mean, natural flowers are just stunning. Some of them, you know, I'm sure that they took out a little bit more, like I think of that for Bird of Paradise. I mean, I look at that flower And I just thank you for the hearts, Kelly. Yes, Kelly, that was what was happening. I couldn't see any comments. I can't see any comments. And to be honest with you, I don't even know who's watching because it still gives me the same count. I see I see 5 bubbles up there, and my count says 3. 3 people watching. So we'll see. You wish I was that steady. Let me give you a little tip. If you kind of put your finger, here's your little pinky, you rest it somewhere steady, then that kind of supports your hand. Look how much support in my hand is. That supports your hand, and that allows me to kind of just move it. And also by doing really tiny movements with your hand, is works really well. Oh, there was 18. Yeah, I only have 3. The count up there is 3, and it's frozen on 3. Kyle, how are you? Of course, I remember you. You were here yesterday. You were like the king of all the emojis, Kyle, here on YouTube. I'm telling you, you made my day yesterday, buddy. Thank you for coming back. I told you I was going to be back today. And I'm finishing up this flower that I don't know what kind of flower it looks like. More like a magnolia to me. But look at this. Yeah, so if you make small strokes, you guys, you know what's hurting me right now is that I did not bring my glasses, my readers, and I'm having to like lift up my eyes just like this. Aw, thank you so much. What is your body count? I don't know. I haven't counted. My body count. Um, but I could tell you that I weigh more than what I wish I could that I wish I weighed, if that's where you're heading to. Um, and I'm a lot older than I wish I was. But as far as if you're wondering about subscribers, I'm trying to get to 300 subscribers. So would you help me make sure that before you leave, make sure you subscribe. I'm trying to get to 300, and I have about 5 minutes left. And because of that, I'm going to paint the center, and I'm going to show you just with a couple of these petals. I'm going to show you how beautiful it's going to look with the glaze. So let me go ahead and start working on the center. And I'm not going to continue these petals over here. I just want to make sure that you guys at least see the center fully done. So oh, I missed one petal here, so I'm going to finish this one. And at least the inner part of this flower, it will be fully done. Which is birthday is in about 17 days from tonight. And I was just telling them, dear Lord, I will be waking up with yet another ache and pain. You know, there'll be more grays than black hair, than brown hair on my head. I'm just gonna go ahead and paint the inside, which is the center. I'll be having more aches and pains. I will be having more grays. My eyesight will be yet another year older. You know, it's gonna be worse. And yeah, hooray, hooray to getting older. Hooray, hooray. But by the grace of God, we got yet another year to fool around and joke around. Aww. Okay, I'm having a hard time, as I said. Let's see. I love your flower creations. Thank you, B. From Pennsylvania. Event in the fall. Yes. As a matter of fact, I'm supposed to be buying my start booking up my hotel, but I know that Tracy is planning on giving you guys, all of the followers, or a time, so you guys will get all of the details from her. I could ask when that will be given, but I know it will be given, I think probably sometime now in July. So here it is. Let's go ahead and show you what it will look like at the end, towards the end. And for that, forgive me, I think I probably have to get up. This is the one that I use, and this is just a glossy paint. It gives you that, and this is called a gloss medium. It's all it is. So it's a gloss medium, and all it is that it's going to give us that glossiness, that kind of like a ceramic feel. You know, kind of like the ceramic that you kind of pull in the kilns. That's the one. That's what's going to give you that look. Now I'm only going to do this top petals because those are the only ones that I have finished. I haven't finished the bottom row, the petals. So I'm only going to show you right up here. Now make sure that you're using, again, this medium is very flowy. I'm going to come back and get another one of my brushes, and this is a nice, look how soft of those petals. Look how soft and long, see? So, oh, this is the one that I use with starch. So I'm not gonna worry about that. It's not gonna do anything to it. I'm gonna come back, I'm gonna get my paper. I'm gonna put it right on top of there. And I'm gonna grab it from there as I go. It's a gloss medium by the brand is Essentials. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to just brush it out the same direction of the petals, the same directions that we made. Remember those indentations that we added to that? Same direction. So yikes, this is what I was afraid of, that it was just be that the white, that the gold would not be ready. So I'm gonna try to be careful. I'm gonna clean up my brush over here. Try to be careful. But I just want to show you what it does look like once everything is nice and glossy. It just looks so beautiful. You have to, it makes you think that you spend hours putting it in the kiln and kind of like, you know, burned it up basically. Heat it up under the high temperature to give it that glossy look. Now I'm not going to do the middle part because the middle is still not fully dried. And you guys have another presenter here on Craft from the Cloth that you're going to go get to. I set it at 9:15, so my ending time is at 10. So I have just 1 minute before my time is done. But I'm going to go ahead and remove the blue so you guys can really see it done in this last minute that I have here. And here. Look. I will be cleaning it up with some alcohol before taking some pictures. But look at you guys. Look at this. Isn't it pretty? Isn't it pretty? Now remember, I haven't finished those bottom petals, but I hope that you guys, not sure if you could see, the light catches a little bit of the glossiness. But once I take the pictures, and I will add them. Now, if you want to see all of the pictures, make sure that you join me on Instagram and of course on Facebook. But make sure that you check out, if you're on YouTube, check out on Instagram under His Girls Designs, and I will be posting a picture of the full 100% done, kind of, you know, and stage it up, looking really pretty. But you guys, tell me if this is not such a beautiful, beautiful little gift. Look at that. Right? It makes it just a one-of-a-kind kind of gift. Well, thank you so much. I had a fun time with you, and I'm sorry for the hiccup at the beginning, but I will, I'll check out the comments here on YouTube, and I'll check out the comments here on Facebook, guys, so I apologize. But may God bless you, may God keep you, make His face shine upon you, may God grant you His peace. And we really need to, if you are a Christian, you need to really be bending your knees and praying for this nation and everything that is going on right now. We all know what's going on, so just be in prayer and be vigilant, and we gotta be interceding for all that's happening right now. May God have a beautiful night, and I will see you, Lord willing, tomorrow at 10 o'clock or 10:45, 10 o'clock tomorrow. So may God have a good night, you guys. Adios. Gonna end it here on Facebook first. You know, all right. Thank you so much for being here, and for those that have jumped right into right from Facebook into YouTube, guys. So appreciate you. And let's see, 10 o'clock at night. 10 o'clock at night. Yes, 10 o'clock at night, Eastern Standard Time. I will be here tomorrow. Excellent gift. Yes, it is. Winning it. It's going to be real quick. All right. Have a blessed week, you guys. Had a fun time with you. Adios.